Okay, hey everyone. You know I want to get into this Housewives of Atlanta episode that aired last night. I'm gonna just pretty much go through the episode because so much happened that I just want to go from beginning to end what happened in the episode. So let's start off. The episode starts off with the women, except for Kenya, are in the sprinter on their way back to the house. And Marlo tells the women what the plan is for the next day. Sanya is clearly just up under Marlo for whatever reasons. It's actually annoying to see a grown woman act like this when she claims that she's for both women. She likes both women. I don't understand why she's just so compassionate about Marlo. I don't get it. But Marlo tells the women that if Kenya doesn't come to the house that night or early in the morning, she doesn't want her on the trip. She's like, if Kenya's not here either tonight or by breakfast in the morning, she can't come on the trip, right? So the next morning, Kenya does come. She comes early, like by I think it was like 9 o'clock. The time said when she arrived at the house. The women were like pretty much just getting up, and she comes in. The women are happy that she came. She saw Drew. She saw Sanya. They were all happy. Kenya came in with good spirits. She had good energy. She was in a good mood. Like she didn't come in upset. She came in happy. And Kenya, like Marlo, I guess is coming down the hallway. Kenya sees her. She like says hi, but walked in the room. So then I guess she does come back out. So Marlo, she's like hi to Marlo. So Marlo has the nerve to open up her arms to like hug Kenya, which Kenya does not even pay attention to. Like, I'm not hugging you. Like, this is what Kenya's talking about. We can speak, whatever the case may be, but we're not hugging. We are not friends. We do not like each other. It's as simple as that. I don't know why Marlo felt that that Kenya should have hugged her. I'm like, okay, she goes too far with it. So Kenya came in, like I said, with good energy, dancing, laughing. The women were happy, like ready to turn up because Kenya was there. So I guess Marlo peeps that Kenya's in good spirits and is not like trying to really say much to Marlo. So here goes Marlo saying Kenya isn't gonna kill her vibe. So now Marlo goes downstairs, I guess, to get ready. But before she does that, she does ask Kenya like if Kenya liked the house, and Kenya was saying like, yeah, she liked the house and everything. So Marlo's like, Kenya, when you get a chance, can you come talk to me? So Marlo goes to get her makeup done, and she's telling her makeup artist like, well, maybe Kenya will come say hi. I mean, Kenya already said hi. You tried to hug her and she didn't hug you back. So I guess Marlo felt a way about that. So now she's like, you know what? No, we got to have a conversation. We got to talk. So now she's like, oh, Kenya, come say, Kenya, come talk to me. So Kenya goes while Marlo's downstairs. Kenya is talking to Sanya, and she asks Kenya basically like if her bags were packed, if she brought her bags with her, meaning like, are you going to stay at the house with us tonight? And Kenya's like, yeah, I have my bags. My bags are always packed. But basically, Kenya didn't say, yeah, I'm staying or no, I'm not. She just basically said, I have my bags. So Sanya tells Kenya that Marlo has something for her, like a gift of whatever Marlo gave the women. She had something for her, and she still hasn't gone and gotten it from Marlo. So Kenya's like, you know what? I'm not in a hurry to get it. She's trying to avoid Marlo, especially one-on-one conversation with Marlo. Like she knows what Marlo is trying to do, get up under her skin, and she's just trying to avoid it. And I feel Kenya on it. Like her and Marlo just do not get along. Like, and she does not want to talk to her one-on-one. And why is she wrong for that? Like, at least she's there and not she's in a good spirit. She's happy to be there. She's not acting like she's upset. So I don't understand why Marlo is just like constantly trying to get Kenya to just come talk to her. When women, they should just be getting ready to leave, and that's it. So Kenya knows what Marlo's trying to do. And then Sanya's in her confessional and she's like, oh, well, if Kenya feels that strongly about Marlo, then she shouldn't be there. Now, listen, this is a trip. All the women are supposed to come on the trips, whether they get along or not. Kenya still came. This is not really a trip that Marlo is throwing on her own for these women to come support her or celebrate her. This is a production fueled trip. This is a production. This is work. All these women are coming to work. This is what Kenya has to come, okay? Even though she didn't stay in the house, she still has to come on the trip. Marlo cannot sit here and act like Kenya can't come on the trip because she's not giving her a one-on-one discussion. Okay? So Marlo and Kenya, I'm not Marlo, I'm sorry, Sanya and Kenya are downstairs talking, and Kenya basically brings up Marlo kicking the nephews out because she was having a hard time. And this is, she's trying to explain to Sanya that if Marlo is having such a hard time with her nephews and this and that, then we don't need to talk. I don't want to talk to her because if she would do her nephews like this, I can imagine how she would do me. And then Kenya tells Sanya the story about when she ran away when she was younger because her I think she said the family she was living with uh gave her to her grandmother, and she basically was disobeying her grandma. Basically, she was giving her grandma a hard time, not listening probably, and the grandma was going to take her back, so she ended up jumping out of a moving vehicle while the car was driving, and she ended up jumping out of the car, going to stay with an ex-boyfriend of hers that she said she stayed with him for like a few weeks, and her family was looking for her. But basically, she was just reliving that trauma she went through, and she knows what it's like to be given back, to be given away. It's trauma. It's a hard, it's hard to go through. So Kenya can definitely relate to how Marlo's nephews must feel, even though he's with her sister. She's like, it's still the fact that it's conditions. Like, if I act a certain way, or if I do this, or if I don't do this, then you may possibly give me away. And she's basically saying that it's a trigger for her when it comes to Marlo. So she definitely just wants to stay away from Marlo. That's just, she does not want to have the one-on-one conversation. So Sanya, as soon as that conversation with Sanya and Kenya end, Sanya goes to talk to Sheree in the kitchen, and basically told Sheree that Kenya just dropped a lot on her when they spoke and how they should go talk to Marlo, right? So they go downstairs, see Marlo, tell her that, they need to talk to her. And Sanya tells Marlo how she likes both her and Kenya, and how this trip is about Marlo. She tells Marlo that Kenya said that she's battling demons, and what she said about the boys not being with Marlo, which made Marlo, of course, get upset and say, what did she say about my nephews? Why is she talking about my nephews? And then she's like, who told Kenya about the boys? And then Sheree explains that she told Kenya, and what she said to Kenya. So Sanya, of course, is saying to Marlo, why would Kenya come on the trip if she didn't want to bridge the gap between them? And it's Marlo says that Kenya is bringing bad energy, and then Sheree agrees. Once again, she's like, yeah, I agree. Marlo says Kenya must talk to her before getting on the bus. So she's letting them know, like, Kenya has to talk to me before we leave. So after that, I believe Kenya and Candy, they were giving Sheree advice. I'm going to skip that part because I don't feel like talking about all of that. But basically, whoever saw the episode knows what I'm talking about. Sheree needed advice. Kenya hooked her up with a connection, and then Candy was giving her advice. So after that, Fatum comes. That's Sheree's friend, the one that does not get along with Drew. So as soon as Drew sees her, she's mad, like, oh, I know how this is gonna go because I don't like her. Now it's time for the women to leave the house, go to the gem mining place that I guess Marlo selected. And Marlo says to Kenya that they need to talk one-on-one before they leave. Kenya tells Marlo, like, we'll see. And Marlo's like, no, like, if you don't talk to me, then you got to go. Basically telling Kenya she can't come on this trip with them if she does not talk to her before they leave first. So Kenya ends up like walking away. Marlo's looking for Kenya, like following Kenya around the house. Kenya makes her way to where the women are, like in the doorway or the front entrance, like where the entrance of the house. So now Marlo is mad. Now she's mad. She's calling Kenya a child. She's just saying all kinds of stuff because Kenya won't talk to her. So she's telling Kenya in front of all the women that Kenya is looking awful as a black queen. She's just horrible. Kenya tells Marlo, do not insult her or she won't get a conversation. So then Candy chimes in and says that Kenya's making it difficult. It's just like, I don't understand why Candy wouldn't understand why Kenya did not want to talk to Marlo. I thought she would understand that, and clearly she did not. Kenya tells Marlo, say what you have to say in front of everyone. I'm not going one on one with you. So Marlo tells Kenya to have a safe trip back home because she's not going with them mining. She's like, have a safe drive back, have a safe drive back, basically telling Kenya, you got to go. You can't come with us. So Marlo, I really was surprised at this part because I said, I know it's no way that Kenya is really going to go home because Marlo's saying so. This is not the way it works in Housewives. Anyone, I've been watching these shows since season one, since the beginning, before social media was even active. I've been watching Housewives. And I know the way it works. We all are hip to it now. We are not dumb. The viewers who are really invested and watch the show know the way it works. All these trips are production based. Women on the trip cannot call shots on who can and cannot come places. I get it, Marlo. You were in charge of this trip this one weekend, right? I get it. But you can't sit here because Kenya don't want to talk to you one on one. You can't tell her she cannot come. You tried to pull it with saying that she didn't want to stay, but I'm pretty sure Kenya spoke to those producers. She was not having her baby under that same roof of the house with Marlo because Marlo would have tried Kenya and would have got Kenya real upset, and her baby would have had to see her going back and forth with Marlo. So Kenya got her own place, even though she's joining them on the activities that they're doing. So now they're in the driveway. They're leaving out the house. They're in the driveway. And Marlo goes off on Kenya, just calling her all types of names, talking about her body, how she about to take pictures of her butt, and just all kinds of crazy stuff. Then she tells the driver when she gets in the car, because it was two cars. So Marlo tells the driver, like, don't let this one in the car right here. She's basically telling the driver, don't let this girl in the car talking about Kenya. Kenya's just standing there. She's like trying to get under her skin and get her mad to go back and forth with her as bad as she could, but it did not work. So they're in the driveway waiting to leave. It's like what, an hour and a half time passed by that they were showing on TV. So what I'm assuming is happening in this time is the fact that Kenya, I saw her texting on her phone a lot, on the phone, going back and forth. I'm sure she was talking to production. They were trying to let Marlo know that she cannot say Kenya cannot come. So it was all a production hold. That's what this was. But in the meantime, the women went in the back and started jumping on a trampoline that they had in the back, taking pictures. Then Marlo goes into the room and she's sitting here crying, talking to Sanya and Sheree. I'm like, it's not even that deep. Like, Marlo, why are you crying? She's sitting here crying, just trying her hardest to make the women hate Kenya and go against Kenya for her. This is really what she was doing. And then Sanya is sitting here still trying to get Kenya to go talk to Marlo. I mean, Kenya brings up to Sanya how could you expect me to want to go talk to her when you had a problem with how Drew was acting with Sheree, but you don't care how Marlo is acting right now. And Sanya's just sitting there, just looking drained. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, like, get this woman off of the show. Get rid of Sanya. She's not fit. She does not need to be here. I don't like her at all. I don't like her. She really needs to go. Please, please don't bring her back for another season. So after Marlo finished having her fit, crying, all of a sudden she tells Monyetta and Candy that Kenya can come, just ride in another car. It just went from all of what she did saying Kenya had to leave, this, that, and the third, to now all of a sudden Kenya can come. She just has to go in another car. Duh. That's why they had two cars. Kenya was going to come anyway, Marlo. She was going to come anyway. That's exactly why production held them up for over an hour, because Kenya was coming on that trip, period. And that was it. So the women finally go to the gem mining place. Marlo thanks Sanya, oh, thank you for holding me down and thank you, blah, 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 whatever. Just anyway. So the owner, they get inside and the owner, he's not even like smiling. He's not welcoming at all. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even feeling his whole aura, his attitude. He just seemed real, he just was there. Like, he didn't even act right. So of course there was a a sign that was up there that said Trump 2024 that was in the shop, and Kenya took it down and handed it to him. Like, I'm like, oh boy. I said, really? I'm like, why would Marlo pick, being that Marlo, this is her trip, right? This is Marlo's trip. Why would you pick a gem mining place anyway, with a place with an owner like this? I felt they should have went somewhere that would have been way better activity. Like picking gems, no, I'm not with that. It could have been way better. But of course, Twitter was going crazy last night. And look at this picture of Marlo. Just look at this picture of Marlo and what she has on. So this must explain the place that she picked for them to go to, right? Wow. Okay. So once they're at the gym mining, Fatum and Drew start arguing. Just they can't get along. They don't like each other. Fatum tried to sit across from Drew. Drew got up. Like, now Drew's calling her a dog, basically barking, just doing all kinds of stuff. So they don't get along. They finally leave the gym mining place, and now Marlo's in her car saying that one of her nephews has a birthday the next day. So she just was acting like she's just so drained from Kenya and just how her weekend is not going right. So she's just so upset. So now they get back to the house. Marlo starts packing. Sheree comes in and checks on her. And she's like that she had the trip so the women all can support her. And she tells Sheree's like, everyone does support you. Like, aside from Kenya, like, don't put us in this whole bubble with Kenya. Like, we support you. All of the women did support her except for Kenya. But Marlo acted like the trip just was horrible, because what she really wanted was the women to not only support her, but to ridicule Kenya and make Kenya feel horrible for how she was acting towards Marlo. And the only one that really did that was Sanya. None of the other women even participated in that because they don't want to get involved. So that's really what Marlo was upset about. She wanted the women to just back her up and tell Kenya and agree with her and say, yeah, Kenya, you can't stay here then. You can't stay here then if you can't talk to Marlo one on one. It's just it's the weirdest thing with Marlo and her behavior with Kenya. It's actually, to this point, I'm believing that she's obsessed with her, because I don't understand what the issue is. Kenya has every right to sit and say she does not want to talk to you one on one. Y'all have had plenty of conversations over all the years on the show. You have conversations and they lead nowhere. You have conversations, and 2 weeks later, time goes by and Marlo is throwing Kenya back under the bus. Kenya, if she does not want to be friends with you, Marlo, you cannot make her. She's being cordial because she knows this is work and she knows she has to be around you, and she can do it. She can be around you, but she just does not want to deal with you individually. She does not want to have conversations with you. And Marlo's acting as if Kenya owes her that, and she does not owe her that. So Marlo has the women meet in the living room and basically tells them that everyone has to leave. The reason for the trip was to recharge and bond with them, and she's done everything except recharge. And Candy was looking like so annoyed. Soon as Marlo said to leave, Kenya was the first one to get up, like, listen, you don't got to tell me twice. So to end this whole thing, the whole trip, Marlo did to the women exactly what she did to her nephews: gets aggravated and kicks everyone out. It's a pattern with her. She was upset because she couldn't get her way with Kenya. She was upset. She also really wanted to be able to control and navigate how Kenya felt and acted on this trip. And Kenya did everything but that. Kenya got her way. Kenya came, she booked her own place. She came and met the women. She stayed away from Marlo, and she was still happy. And Marlo hates to see Kenya happy, especially when she's trying to get under Kenya's skin. So this is a real issue. The reunion is going to be beyond explosive with all of the women. I don't know what's going to happen at that reunion, but Marlo is definitely a problem. And I really had no issues with Marlo up until she became a peach holder. Because now we're starting to see who the real Marlo really is. I've This is the thing. Marlo has had it out with Kenya for years. They've always had their spats back and forth. Marlo has said dreadful things about Kenya growing up, her mother not wanting her. Mark, the baby, with that not being her egg, all kinds of things. And I still was on some, I like both of them. But this season has really made me not like Marlo. I really do not. She is obsessive. She's controlling. She won't leave Kenya alone. And it's really crazy to see. It really is. So I'm happy for Kenya holding her head and really not letting Marlo get to her. But I did pull a couple of tweets just that I totally agreed with that I saw last night on Twitter. This one right here makes so much sense. This person says, Sanya has a problem with Kenya. She relates to Marlo because she doesn't want to be bothered with her own child. Now, if we can think back a couple of episodes ago when Sanya was talking to her husband and he wants basically another child. And she's saying how hard it is to deal and raise the one child that they have with him being, busy doing this, doing that, not being able to help her. And the thing is, she probably does agree with Marlo because maybe she does feel that way. Like, you know what? I need a break from my own child too, but I can't do that. So she sees where Marlo's coming from because she's stressed out and she's drained. But I still don't like that woman. Okay. Period. I don't like Sanya. I don't like her. I don't like her. But I just agreed with this tweet when I saw it last night. And this was one, Kenya was on a roll with retweeting and everything, but I just pulled this one that said Marlo told Kenya a few seasons ago, that's why your mama didn't want you, but now she don't want Kenya to talk about how she gave her nephews away. Make it make sense. Exactly. And I think Marlo is triggered a lot because she knows what she did was wrong. But hey, that's a grown woman, okay? So this is what she came on TV with. This is her storyline. This is what she's showing the world. So everybody's gonna react and have an opinion on it. So Marlo needs to get it together. She needs to get it together. And she needs to stop blaming Kenya for every time something goes wrong with her nephews and how she feels and all this bad energy, bad cloud, all kinds of stuff she says about Kenya. Like, Marlo, it's a reflection of you, a total reflection of yourself. So that's all I have for this recap. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. I really appreciate it, and I like reading the comments, even though some can be like a lot, but I don't mind it. It's okay. Just don't get too crazy in my comments though. But other than that, I respect it. Say how you feel. So guys, until the next video, I will talk to you guys again soon.